I don't know what I just read. Oh my goodness. Today's one of those days. I don't know why lately it's gotten so difficult to read on this desk. I can read a lot better when I'm actually I don't even read that much. Oh, I don't read that much when I'm on bed. Oh my god. I should go to sleep earlier. I'll be right back, guys. Ah, fuck. I'm miserable. I am a miserable person. You know what it is? I think when I'm just not in a good mood, I tend to. Never mind. reading this. But apparently I read the first few pages because I highlighted. I don't know if you guys can see. I highlighted some excerpts. Writing's writing's it's phenomenal how he is able to. One thing I love about reading short stories or a collection of stories by the same by one author is, um, especially with fiction. Well, yeah, yeah, fiction. Because he changes his style. It's like watching an actor, a very talented actor, who is able to transform into various characters in a film or a drama, but yeah, I think that's it. But it's not limited to age. It's not limited to gender. Um, it's literally seeing a teenager, this actor playing a teenager, and then this actor playing a grandpa, or this actor playing a middle-aged married man with 5 children, something like that. I don't know. Later house analysis. I tried analysis like almost everybody else. Even then, in their early 20s, made some money or had a family or whatever they thought they wanted. It still didn't show that they were happy. A lot of people I knew tried it. It didn't really work, although it did make everyone sound aware of their own problems and added some useful vocabulary and concepts. Through a way, we all had to talk to each other to fit in and sound a certain way. Later when I was in the It's so I just read a sentence, and I feel like um I could read a little bit deeper into it, but like I don't see it right now. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna try rereading it until I really get it. Damn, that's gonna fall on the floor, huh? Did I get it? Alright, it's on the floor, I think. So the main character was trying to be someone to please others. He's so terrified of failing, of letting. So okay, Okay, let me reread from the beginning. So the main character right now, he or she wants to be. Well, I think it's a he, um, because he is trying to. In middle school, he got his hands on. He he did something to impress his fellow student, and he got his hands on her breast for a favor, I think, right? Yeah. Well, not favor. He accomplished something. He made it to all city. He got a status which let a very popular girl, um, and he was able to. He was able to, after achieving a certain status, he was able to um, touch. What does? What am I even? What am I? What am I saying? What do you call that? Acknowledgement. What's something that rhyme like what's something that means to be acknowledged, admired, mostly to be liked or admired. Approved of. It's such an interesting concept to read about people who are exceptionally good at something, right? Let's say, um, let's say back in high school, you remember someone who's highly intelligent. He studied hard. He had a very, he had his work ethic was great, phenomenal. But then he gives out a speech in he gives like a talk with his friends drunk when he's in college, saying that he didn't enjoy anything. He was just really scared he wouldn't do well enough. I think what am I trying to say? It's when you see someone do something when they are exceptionally good at something, you sort of imagine that this person is also enjoying it. For example, a musician, pianist, right, or someone who's very good at their job. They must enjoy it. Um, so, and it's about whether they, because they're good, they enjoy it. They enjoy it, or they enjoy it, and thus they are very good at it. I'm not saying that it's like a logic like A needs to happen in order to, A needs to happen first in order for B to happen next. It's not like a consequential. I'm not trying to view it as that, but you know, for me generally the it leans on the idea that if someone is good at something, they must also enjoy it. Like if they're exceptionally good at something, like if you have a 4.0, you like learning, right? Then the character in this short story is saying he didn't enjoy it much because he was always scared he wouldn't do well enough, or he was scared that his image, his feeling of being admired by other people, how he would look to be liked, would all go away if he doesn't do well enough. So that fear instigates and quote unquote motivates him to do well. The fear made me work really hard, so I'd always do well and end up getting what I wanted. And I think why I like his writing here is he is able to um uh David Foster Wallace, right? He's able to seamlessly transfer one thought to the next. If you just heard me try to organize my thoughts, um, it took me like you know 10 minutes, and I didn't say anything. I didn't contribute anything substantial. It was just really bad talking. So he's constantly on this he's constantly on the edge. His anxiety must be insane. Because all I was doing was thinking, now I'm the guy that get to second with her. Later, that seemed so sad. This was in middle school. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the adult version speaking. Never really let her be or saw her idiotism more. Although I put up a very good front of somebody who would have deep conversations, I really wanted to know and understand who she was inside. I tried to analyze because everybody else because I tried to analyze like almost everybody else then in their late 20s who would meet somebody who had a family or whatever they thought they wanted and still didn't feel that they were happy. A lot of people I knew tried it. It didn't really work. Although it did make everyone sound more aware of their own problems, and that it's some useful vocabulary and concepts to the way we all had to talk to each other to fit in and sound a certain way. Oh, this is really interesting. So the book, the character, he's trying to get accepted, or to have to be admired, to be liked, to um to sound impressive, right? And he starts the story saying that he's all his life is nothing but a fraud, you know. So okay, so what I'm reading is, so he tried all these. So this paragraph, it lines with how he was trying all these different types of therapies, different types of supposedly activities that are supposed to make you happier. And when you read it, well, when I read it, I got this impression that maybe because he lived his entire life trying to be only focusing on trying to be someone that he is not, he doesn't remember how to actually feel, you know, happy. But then what? But then what is happiness, right? But then what contributes to an individual's happiness? So what's also interesting is he says um, he tried all these activities in order to be happy, um, as like as if he's also trying to brag about it, you know. He's like listing all these activities that he did in order to try to be happy, but I'm not. This also creates like the sense of mysteriousness um, in this individual, and he puts how he was able to sleep, how he tried to sleep an with a different girl every night for 2 months. He puts that to the last of the list, and he says that he also got chlamydia from the process. Um, so when he shares that, he also says that for the most part, the 2 months just made me feel shallow and predatory. He shares something in order to um, so this is how I read it. He I think he shared it in order to try to form this certain image to whomever he is sharing the story, right? But then we also learn that before he talks about where he is, he talks about how at just 29 he made creative associate, which I'm assuming makes a lot of money, enough that he is fairly satisfied. He has no trouble with his normal expenses, life expenses. And at the end of this paragraph, he states he missed a great deal of sleep and was a wreck at work. Well, how can you be, how can you be a wreck at work for 2 months when you are a creative associate at a large consulting firm? And he also says that was also the period I tried cocaine. That's it's strange because I'm not an avid listener. I only started this a few months ago, so I'm still learning, and I'm sharing what I think. Um, and it may I can't believe I sound exactly like this guy. He says, but it gets a lot more interesting. Um, I'm not trying to, I'm just sharing whatever is coming through my head and what I think. And I think that's the strange paradoxical feel that, what is the real kind of, like, what is this individual trying to say, you know? Like, is this honest or is this not honest? You know, that's what I'm getting from this character. It's interesting. The analysis that I saw was okay. A big, soft, older guy with a big ginger mustache and a pleasant, sort of informal manner. I'm not sure I remember him alive too well. He was a fairly good listener. One thing that I'm um, finding myself doing was constantly rejecting what this character is saying. And I'm finding because I'm finding myself disagreeing with what he's saying, but at the same time I'm judging this character. Um, how can I organize this into an example? Let's say you're watching an interview, right, or you're reading something, and someone says, you know, someone says something like, "I always believed what I did was the right thing, and I always knew them." Different approaches can be made by that statement, right? Depending on who said it, what sort of interview, for talking about for what kind of thing, etc. Let's say on one of the reactions that an individual can have of that is, you know, disagreement, right? Disagreement. But then I don't know this person. I don't know the interviewee. I don't know what this person went through. I don't know what this person went in, what happened in their lives for this person to say this in this certain exact interview for a certain type of question. I don't know. And it's also and because I find myself doing that, it's like because because I have that thought of how this character is always trying to be try to have the sensation of feeling admired, feeling like this person belongs in a certain group. Let's say if you want to belong in an elite group of distinguished individuals, you would want to copy or become a, you want to have a certain trait that this group of elite people have. It could be the way they dress, it could be the way they speak, it could be the way it could be the way they eat, what type of foods they eat, etc. So because I know that this character is trying to have him get admiration from or acknowledgement or um, to be liked, uh, a lot of the things that he's saying, I am looking at it in that way that he's trying to gain approval or impress um, the reader or whoever he's talking to. But at the same time, that is also ironic in my way because I am unconsciously judging this character. He says, listen, so he says, I had been adopted, but it was as a baby. Like, why does he say, but it was as a baby? You know, it's like being adopted as a baby is better than being adopted when you're a child. And this is from a book. And the step parents who adopted me were better and nicer than most of the biological parents I knew anything about. Right? Like it's something that's not really um it's a great piece of information, but it does something very weird to me because I am now processing it as why is he adding this detail to it? Is it you know is it to say that he grew up in a nice, friendly, his parents, what they say, right? Parents, the children are the reflections of parents. So I think he's saying that his parents accepted him, and they were very nice to him, and they gave him everything that he wanted, and they even, and this is and I'm gonna read continuously, continuing on from that, I'm gonna read most of the biological parents I knew anything about, and I was never yelled at or abused or pressured to hit point four in Legion Ball or anything, and they took out a second mortgage to send me to an elite college when I could have gotten scholarship to UW, U Claire, etc. Nobody had nobody ever done anything bad to me. Every problem I ever had, I've been the cause of. It's hard to believe that, right? Because he's at 29. It's just, but it could it but I don't know this person. Does that make sense? Oh my god. So it's not, it doesn't make sense that nobody had ever done anything bad to him, and every problem I ever had, every problem he's ever had, he's been the cause of. That is unbelievable. That is, it's very hard to believe. But I don't know if me being, that's hard to believe is coming from this this bias that he is trying to gain admiration, or this sort of sense of impression to be liked by strangers, to anyone that he meets. That desire is so strong, so it's naturally just embedded in him. I don't know if I'm making all these assumptions just from that bias, or because like I said, I don't know this character, right? Like, I don't know this character at all. So this could be, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It could very well be the truth. Why do I have this bias though, that this is not true? Even when I don't know anything about this character. It's a strange kind of like mind. Um, yeah, it's strange. I was a fraud in the fact that I was lonely for my own, and the fact that I was lonely was my own fault. Of course, his ears pricked up at fault, which is a loaded term. Oh, so there is a parenthesis that says of. So let me read. No, okay. I'm gonna read from the next sentence that says, "I was a fraud, and the fact that I was lonely was my own fault." Of course, and this is in parentheses. Parentheses. The next sentence I'm gonna read. Of course, his ears pricked up at fault, which is a loaded term. So it sounds like I thought I was. So it seems like there's an interviewer, and the main character that I'm reading about is the interviewee. Okay, my neck hurts. I can't read anymore.